In the last year, Scottish Technology Club has run over 20 events and we're now over 3,000 members strong. But we need your help. We want to continue to grow the community, run more events and attract higher profile speakers and opportunities. You can join our Supporters Club and Patreon for as little as £1 a month. For more information, visit scottishtechnology.club/support.
Good evening, everybody in the audience and watching live at home. Welcome to the EdinburghJS Meetup, sponsored this and next month by TravelPerk. First up, we're going to have... Yes, thank you, TravelPerk. First up, we're going to have a word from Ma from TravelPerk to tell us more about what they are up to.
Right, thank you. Do I take the mic?
Yes.
That works? Fantastic. Thanks. Hello. My name is Mara. I work here at TravelPerk. I run our software bootcamp because we have an internal software bootcamp for engineers to join us that way. Here's our Edinburgh hub, but we actually have 9 hubs across the world. Our biggest one's in Barcelona. We're also in Birmingham, London, Berlin, and a bunch of places in the US. We do corporate travel management, so we're a bit like for Skyscanner for companies, but we're also just we just did a Series E funding. Someone's going to correct me on the numbers if I get them wrong. We just raised 200 million and we've been valued at 2.7 billion, so we're just rapidly expanding. We've been doing so for years. I think like the size of the company has doubled in number of months kind of amount. We're growing super fast. We're always hiring, especially in Edinburgh. We're hiring loads of engineers. It's a really cool, awesome, very cozy hub. But I promise there's a chair for everyone who works here. I just wanted to let you know we've got 2 QR codes for you tonight. We've got one for the careers page, so please feel free to scan that now or later. It's kind of going to be on throughout the evening if you want to look at what opportunities there are kind of across all of our hubs. And then super, super, super important, please could you give us some feedback? Because the more people that give us feedback and even just say, I came, it was great, I had pizza, that's it. It means that the company wants to continue sponsoring these kinds of events because they see the engagement from the community. So I would love to be able to keep hosting this. It's going to come down to the numbers there. So, yeah, please. Exactly. You don't want to make Jamie sad, do you? I think that's me. Thank you so much and enjoy the wonderful talk.
Thank you, Mark. Today we have only one talk for you because it is such a good talk. Why would you need another one? I met Ljupche a few months ago at one of these events, and since then he's become a huge part of the JavaScript community in Edinburgh and also has a YouTube channel which I highly recommend everybody checks out. Please put your hands together for Ljupche.
I need my notes. Come on. Here you go. Oh, you can't see the screen from here, right? Okay. Yeah, I can see it maybe. No, right. Thank you for the great introduction, James. Well, I'm going to be talking about AdProto today and building a photo sharing app on the Ad protocol. I thought I'll start this with a show of hands. Anyone here using Blue Sky has a Blue Sky account? Perfect, yeah. So for those who don't know and don't have an account, Blue Sky is a Twitter or X clone, basically, and it has lots of great features like custom algorithms, has starter packs and follow a block list, so you can get your following started fast. It did have 31 million users when I created this slide a couple days ago. I think it still has 31 million users. And it was the #1 app in the App Store when it became viral a few months ago. And it is open source, which is great. The backend and the front end are all both open source code, which you can clone and just create your own Blue Sky. And it is the first Ad protocol app. Before I actually dive into Ad protocol, a little bit about me. Yes, that's me. I'm a full stack developer. I've been coding since I was 12. And like James said, I have a YouTube channel about web development. In my free time, I like gym and running. I can't do both at the same time. I'm still struggling with the hybrid athlete part. And we are planning a hackathon on April 5th, and more details on that is going to come soon on the EdinburghJS Meetup app. Cool. So what is AD protocol? Right? The name stands for Authenticated Transfer Protocol. It is just another web protocol, like we have HTTP or HTTPS. And the idea behind this is a decentralized foundation for public social media. And it looks just like that. You have ads and then your domain.com. And the way you do that is by adding a DNS text record on your DNS records management. And you also have the DID record, which is your unique decentralized ID for your account. I'll come back to the picture in the on the side in a little bit. It's going to make more sense after I explain everything. Cool. Like I already mentioned, so we have the domain. And if you translate the ad to the ad symbol, we have ad, which handles our domains. So if you have a Blue Sky account, you already know this, but your domain is your handle. And this is great because we know that whoever is making the post owns that domain, and we can trust the content coming from there. And you can do that, like I said, with a DNS record for your domain. Right. The next few slides are heavily inspired by a talk that Dan Amarov did on ad protocol and Blue Sky. He actually works at Blue Sky and works on the ad protocol. Just wanted to mention that for everyone that's seen it. Right. Have to go back and forth. Maybe I can actually use this. Yeah, that works. Right, so in early web, we had HTML boxes, and we put them on our website, and that's basically how websites work, right? But then we need a server, so anyone that we want to visit our website, we need to host it on a server, map our domain to it, and then people can visit our websites. And the way we would socialize in early web, we would go to each other's websites. If Jamie has his own website, we can go to his. We can link to each other's websites as well with links. And here we are in control because we can change the HTML boxes, we can change the domain, we can change the server if we want to. So we create the content, we own it. It's basically in our control. Now, fast forward a few years, we have social media networks like Twitter and Instagram. And now here we have we write the content on Twitter. We have our tweets and our images or reels or whatever it is for the content. But here we go on their website and we post the posts there, which means that the data lives on their servers. And in technical terms, that means they own it. By moral standpoint, yeah, we own it. We can download the tweets in the JSON format. But without the context of Twitter, that JSON doesn't really give us much good. Right, so how does that protocol work? Someone built this great ad proto browser, which I'm just going to demo real quick. Yeah. So this is my ad protocol record. This is my account, and you have all information here about my ad protocol account here. We have, I'll come back to the collection in a second.
Zoom in a tiny bit.
Oh, great. Good? Yeah. So like I said, you have the domain, and you have your decentralized ID here. So that decentralized ID is your ID where the ad protocol knows you for, and the domain maps for a humanly readable mapping to that ID. The DID doc basically describes my account. It describes what I'm known as, and we have a verification method. This is basically how the data will be cryptographically confirmed that the data comes from the correct accounts. And then we have service. This is a cool feature from AdProto, which means that we can host the data ourselves. So here I'm hosting the data on Blue Sky servers. This is the default when you create a Blue Sky account. But you can change that and host the data for yourself. And you have a history here, which basically, when you create an account in Blue Sky, if you don't have a domain, it gives you a subdomain, and then I change it to my own domain. But the interesting bit is the personal data server collections. So this is basically all the posts, all the content I'm created, it lives here. And here, I have a few apps here, as you can see. But for example, Blue Sky, These are all my Blue Sky posts. If I open one of them, this is me sharing the event for tonight. It has a lot of data here. It has the links and the post that I'm actually resharing. And it should have my text somewhere like this. Oops, sorry. And if I go to my page, you can see it's actually my latest post. And if I like my own post, then we can also see the like coming up on my personal data server collection here. And these are basically JSON formats for all our posts, all interactions, all of the records in here are just JSON records. And I have here the ones for my app. I called it Ljupche very creatively, but I basically just have a post and a like, and this is all the data I need for my app at the moment, which is all can be found here. So these collections have lexicons, and the lexicons is basically a schema-defining language to define the records that live in the collections. And it'll make much more sense in a minute, but just mentioning it now. So if I create a new post, we can actually see it happening. Yeah, I'm very creative when it comes to new content. You can see I don't even have that many posts anyways. But yeah, this came up here, and we can see it. Okay. Right. So if you just remember how social media networks used to look like, here we were writing posts on their website, and you can see now here we are in their box. The box is Twitter, and then we are inside with our own tweets and comments. And this is the ad protocol's atmosphere. So they call it the atmosphere because now we are lifted above the box. We create collections, and all the collections are found in our user repo, which is basically at our domains. And we can have every kinds of collections there for any kinds of app we use. So this can be used for a Twitter clone, an Instagram clone, whatever kind of website you want. And like I said, we can host our own data, which is another bonus. Now, the idea behind AdProto and how it actually works technically, they absorb and aggregate all of the data from all of the users creating records, and they put it in an event log stream, and this is then distributed to all the different apps like Blue Sky or my Ljupche app or any other app that's using that protocol. And now, hopefully, this makes more sense. So the app services here are the backends of the applications that are creating the records. We have the user repos, which is basically the user repo I showed before. That goes to the event log, which fires webhooks, and the app view that are subscribed to these webhooks can get the new content and show it to the users. And this is actually a live fire hose from Twitter that someone independently built, not Twitter, sorry, Blue Sky. And someone built, and we can see all the events firing here real time. We can see the DADs on the left side, the content and everything here. And it actually shows us how active Blue Sky is. Right, so this is my photo sharing app. You can see I also used a very creative approach of the Mark Zuckerberg approach, just copy it and use it as your own. Why did I build this? Basically, is I like to learn by doing. I see something interesting, I just try to build something with it, and that's my approach of learning anything in the web dev space. A little bit about the infrastructure. I did use Next.js. I just wanted an easy boilerplate to start with. I'm using API endpoints, not too many server-rendered components. I just went with the API approach. I'm using the AdProto SDK, and I'm using the Blue Sky and AdProto auth. And I try to try a couple new things as well. The upload thing is you can host your data, your files there. And Supabase is just a database. Here's the URL, by the way. If anyone wants to create a post, it's going to show up in the next few slides when I demo the app. But you'll need a Blue Sky account to log in. Right, I'm going to demo, but just a quick overview of what I'm going to do. The quick demo of the app, Then I'm going to go into the code and show you the AddProto SDK setup, the client metadata, Bluepick lexicon, how I'm describing my records. I'm going to show you how the post is being created, the API endpoint basically for creating a post, and putting a record in the atmosphere. Right. Well, this is the app. It's very simple at the moment. It's not a fully ready product anyways, but it has 3 posts, as you can see here. And if I just log in, I need my Blue Sky handle, which is my domain. This is going to take me to Blue Sky to authenticate, and then I'm logged in. The few features I have are creating a post, liking a post, and viewing your profile. So this is my profile. I'm also using the Blue Sky profile data here because it's all in the atmosphere anyway, so I don't need to keep a store of a profile here as well. And if I try to create a post, I actually wanted to take a picture of everyone. There we go. If I can airdrop this. Okay. So this is using the uploading APIs to upload the photo. And I forgot how big iPhone photos are, but yeah. And I can add a caption. And of course, the demo is going to go wrong. I just hope it works. Is it going to show up? No. I probably should have used another photo. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that was me.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you. You actually done the demo for me because mine failed. Yeah. Cool. So if you just jump in the code, I'm going to try. I have a list of things to demo because I don't want to stray too much. Is that code big enough? Can everyone see? Yeah. So the way you set it up is basically like any other SDK. If you've used the SDKs, we just basically just give it an object where you define the client IDs, the name, the redirect URIs, scope, and grant types. This is very basic OAuth setup that I've used before in other places, but it is pretty simple, I think. Then the client metadata is very similar as well. This is used for Blue Sky to you need to have this JSON file that Blue Sky can access it and get all the data it needs from your website. You don't need it for a local development, but if you have app in production, you need this. And now the few interesting things that happened here are have a DID resolver. And this resolves the DID record that I showed, the unreadable human ID to a human readable domain. And uses a helper package from AddProto here. And they provided all kinds of packages to work with this, so I'm just basically using those. And here's the lexicon for my collections. I have 2, like I said, a feed, a post, and a like. The idea here is a namespace ID, and it uses the reverse host name syntax. So basically have app.bluepick, and then I describe the name of the record, so it's a post. And this is using the lexicon from AddProto, which, like I said, is schema-defining language to describe your records. And this is after used to validate when you create a new record. I'm going to show you that in a second as well. But I basically just have image URL, caption, and created ad. And for the like, I only need a URI, like which post have I liked. And that's and the created ad, of course. Right. And then session agent. This is not AddProto. I've just used Iron Session to handle session in my app. It's not really anything to do with AddProto, but when I log in, I need to keep a session somehow, so I'm using Iron Session. This is actually what they recommend in their tutorial. And this is where the magic happens, or this is the API endpoint for creating a post. So anytime a request comes in, I'm trying to see if the user is logged in or the session is available. The R key is the record key of each record, so we need a record key so AdProto knows the ID of it. And we create a new one here, and then we construct the object, which is basically the object I've defined with my lexicon. Here's where the validation happens. So if I go in here, this is going to use lexicon and validate that the post is actually correct and valid. Then if everything's OK, I'm going to add that post in the atmosphere using the AdProto SDK again. Like I said, pretty simple, just using SDKs really to manipulate and update and delete records from the atmosphere. Have a delete post here as well, and get users posts and stuff like that. And then I also have a database for my app. This is also another thing that they recommend. I'm adding the post in the database here, but the reason I added the database, you don't really need a database, but you can serve your users faster if you have the data locally instead of fetching it from the AdProto, from the atmosphere. Cool. If I go back here. Yeah. So what did I actually learn with trying all of this? Well, I learned that trying all the new things at once feels very much like this. I tried uploading Supabase, AdProto, all that, and Vercel, I think, was the first time trying Vercel. And trying to put it all together really, really felt like this. But in reality, what I actually learned is, so it's just another SDK package. I kept repeating that because that Proto SDK is just another SDK that you can use. And the idea behind it is great, but when it comes to the technical part, you can just use the SDK package. The open social media network concept, I like that. I think it opens very big possibilities. And it's, for example, if you have all your posts, if you have your Twitter and Instagram posts living in the atmosphere, they can all live on your private data server. You don't have to keep Instagram or Facebook host your data. And you can only have one, you'll have one place to have all your data. It's going to be at yourdomain.com. It's not going to be in Twitter servers, in Instagram servers. And the Firehose that I showed, they have an ingester, kind of the opposite of Firehose, to ingest all the events that are happening. I really couldn't set that up on my app. I tried, and it felt like the GIF I showed, but it just couldn't get it to work. But basically, when a new event is fired and a new record is created, if I had the ingester hooked up to the Firehose, it's going to create that record in my database. Like I said, database is not needed, but it is useful if you want to have your data locally and serve users faster. And like I said, the possibilities are endless. Just wanted to add a cheesy line there. There are other projects that are built on the Ad protocol. The smoke signal one I've tried is basically a meetup app, very rudimentary meetup app. It has events, and you can RSPV to the events. That's pretty much it. But the records show up on your Ad protocol user repo. And I've seen people make their blog post comments as blue sky posts. Oops, sorry. I've seen people make the I can't say that, blog post comments as blue sky threads. So if you can attach your comments to a thread, anytime someone replies to the thread, it's going to show up as a comment. And I've also seen people use AdProto for the whole blog infrastructure behind the scenes. So yeah, I think I did try to search for more interesting projects, but I couldn't really find any. I think it's just a new place that people are starting to try. There were many blue sky alternatives, though, because it's all open source. People are forking the project and building new stuff. So yeah, that's it for me. I have links here to LinkedIn, we can connect, and my website. Thank you.
Thank you, Ljupche, for a fantastic talk. We're going to open up for audience questions. I will ask the first question so you have time to think what to ask. This seems really interesting. It also seems a little bit like RSS. I wonder what the differences are between this and RSS, if you know about it.
As far as I understand, RSS that lives on your website, but there's nothing aggregating it unless like Google indexes RSS and a different like third-party service can do that. But here, all of them live in the way they call it, the atmosphere. And also the code I showed, the event log stream, is open source as well. So right now, Blue Sky services that, but if someone else wants to create their own event log service, they can do that. So it's very similar, but depends who owns your data, who ingests the data, so it can be served to multiple places.
Any questions from the audience?
Thank you. Sites like Mastodon and Threads are using a different protocol, ActivityPub. Did you consider using that instead?
I've read about it, but I haven't tried it yet. I don't really remember what the difference was between the two. But yeah, this one is the most recent one that I decided to try.
I think this one was claiming that its accounts are more portable.
Sorry?
I think AP Protocol is claiming that the accounts were more portable compared to ActivityPub.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
Any more audience questions?
I guess this is a question for everybody here. So you've obviously made this, and I know how long ago we decided that you did this, and it wasn't that long ago, so it's reasonably easy to kind of get up and running on this. So my question for people here who are interested in Blue Sky and stuff is, could we, as the Meetup and Scottish Technology Club, run something where we claim hey, I know about React, and we could make little groups and stuff. So I guess are there ways of could we produce a feed of something and then have people like the post that says that they know about React or something like that? Is that how that sort of thing could work? And then we could serve that up on the website? And would that be of interest to people? I guess.
Yeah, we can definitely do it technically. We can create a Scottish Technology Club collections and records that we can show different technologies and different stuff, and people can kind of subscribe or like you said.
Cool. If anybody's interested in that, after just seeing how easy it is, I kind of could we just hack something together? Maybe it's something we could do at your hackathon, which is pretty soon. So.
Yeah, definitely. If people are interested, I would be happy to try it.
Do we have any more audience questions? No? We shall take them to the pub in that case. Everyone, please thank Ljupche again for a really fascinating talk. We have a couple of housekeeping announcements. The first is that next month's EdinburghJS is themed around immersive environments in the browser, and Jamie will be releasing an email from Scottish Technology Club with the details of how to sign up for that. As I speak, he promised. If it comes in a few minutes, we'll forgive you. Second announcement is that we are going to the pub. You are all invited. It's the Fountain Bridge Fox, which is just on the corner of the road we are on. If you are new to our community, please come and speak to me. I'll introduce you to people. I will chat to you. Any of the organisers will be really friendly. Third announcement is that Ljupche and I are hosting a hackathon at the KBV Lab offices on St Andrew's Square on the 5th of April. We'll be putting out the sign-up information for that in a few days' time. Please look out for it and get involved. And final announcement, thank you to TravelPerk for double sponsoring us tonight. That means they provided the venue and the food and the drink. I guess that counts as triple sponsorship. We're very grateful. Please help them to help us by filling in the feedback QR code and by checking out the hiring QR code as well. That is what will allow us to keep using this venue, and it is very difficult to find venues in Edinburgh. So we would like to keep this one if we can, especially as it's so nice. Yes, come up before you leave, come up and scan the QR code. I think that's a good plan. My name is James. Come and chat to me if you fancy it. Thank you for coming out tonight. I hope to see you later.
In the last year, Scottish Technology Club has run over 20 events and we're now over 3,000 members strong. But we need your help. We want to continue to grow the community, run more events and attract higher profile speakers and opportunities. You can join our Supporters Club and Patreon for as little as £1 a month. For more information, visit scottishtechnology.club/support.